because I'm a little bit shy. And I always like something in my hand when I'm talking, so I'll just take this pen. Thanks a lot for your stories, everybody. Appreciate it. My name's Alan Mannard. We had an old farmhouse up the hill, and every summer my mother and I would come up there and stay for the summer, spend the summer up there. So one day it occurred to her that I might have reached the age of reason, so she decided she'd turn me loose on the countryside. I guess I was about 8. So I decided that my first solo mission was going to be a walk down the hill on our old lane and see what this Kerr's Farm thing was all about. So off I went about 10 o'clock on a beautiful summer morning, clear blue skies with a few fair weather clouds in the sky. And I could smell, there was a little bit of a breeze, I could smell the hay growing in the fields. Anyway, I stopped at the first gate up there, and in those days it was clear. And I looked out at this panorama in front of me, and wow, what's this? I could see the whole vista that contained Kerr's Farm. It was wonderful. I'm looking the wrong direction, because when I was a kid I was looking down the hill here, so I'll try not to get confused with my direction. Never thought of that. So on my left, what I could see was what looked like a barn. I knew it was probably a barn because it was shaped like a barn. And I knew barns quite well. I had one when I was a littler kid. It was made out of real metal, and it came with a bunch of livestock that you could arrange and make a nice organized scene out in the barnyard. It even had a little pulley that I could lift up things into the loft with. There it was. I saw a real barn. So moving across to the right, I saw what looked like a real low, long house, and I thought, well, gee, looks like there may be a bowling alley in there. A little further to the right, I saw a huge concrete blockhouse. A concrete blockhouse with windows upstairs and downstairs. And I thought, well, God, this has got to be the jail. In fact, probably that's the police department on the ground floor. So looking a little further over, I saw the building that we're sitting in right now. And I thought, I've never seen a house this big, but it reminded me of my brother's high school. So I thought, there's lots of interesting stuff down here. Looking a little bit further, I saw a little tiny building with a gas pump in front. I thought, well, this is the gas station. There was a gravel main street running through the whole place with little gravel avenues going off to each of the buildings. I said, God, this isn't Kerr's Farm, this is a village. I'm going to go down there and explore it right now. So I carried on down our lane. And the next thing I knew, I saw a boy standing down at the bottom. And I thought, God, what's this? He looks like he's guarding the place. I wonder if I'm going to be allowed on. I don't have a ticket or a passport or anything. Even have ID. So I went up and up to him, smiling a little bit bravely as I could. And he looked at me. He was a very serious looking, but pleasant looking guy, obviously older than me, probably about 11 or 12. And he said, I'm Ian Black. My grandfather owns this place. We got a herd of 12 milky cows and a heifer. We got 8 pigs, 2 big workhorses, and 100 laying hens. We got a faithful dog, a couple of cats, and a new batch of kittens. At least we're consistent.
Yeah.
He said we got bedding enough in this place for 50 people. We got 2 waitresses and chambermaids. We got a chamber pot in every room. We got a hired man and a Chinese cook. So I didn't know what to say. I was astounded. But I managed to blurt out, "You say you had kittens?" We really are consistent. So he said, "Yeah, come on, I'll show you them." So Ian Black took me around the back in the old woodshed, an old worn-out place. And right beside the woodshed was the summer kitchen. And inside that you could hear that Chinese cook clattering around with the pots and pans. And in a bed of shavings there was a batch of 4 kittens. So we picked up a piece of Timothy hay and we started playing with them. And they were batting away at these things and tumbling, excuse me, tumbling over each other. So we played with them for about half an hour, and Ian said, "Want to go for ice cream?" And I said, "Well, sure." He said, "Got any money?" Anyway, it turns out we didn't need money because Ian's Uncle Harvey was minding the store that day, the store that was the gas station, of course. And he built us a couple of really big ice cream cones, and he sent us on our way. So the rest of the day we spent wandering around through the fields, even went into the forest to explore, and ended up back at Kerr's Beach on Lake Hughes. So every day that summer was just about the same. We did pretty much the same thing. In fact, just about every summer after that, for many, many years, we did the same sort of thing. And Ian and I became great friends and remained so until he died just a couple of years ago. And his ashes are in these hills, folks. Unlikely as it may seem, I also got to be really good friends with that Chinese cook. His name was Sam Go. And we used to sit out on that big piece of outcrop rock across from that blockhouse that I thought was the jail. And we used to tell stories there at night. And he couldn't speak English very well, but I was very patient. And I'd sit there and listen to his stories. But maybe one of the reasons I was so patient was I knew I was going to get a reward. Invariably, he wasn't there every evening, but the evenings that he was, invariably said, "You go buy me cigarette sweet cap and take an ice cream." So I would go over to the store. He'd give me 50 cents. I would go over to the store and buy him a package of sweet caporal cigarettes and an ice cream cone. That was, I think that's the second time I mentioned ice cream cones in this talk, so you can see I'm fond of them. Anyway, I would give him the cigarettes, and I would give him his change from 50 cents, 8 cents. We got a lot for 8 cents in those days. I went away for, as I grew older, I went away for a couple of years, traveling here and there. And when I got back, I noticed that Sam was gone. And I thought of myself as being very busy in those days. Too busy to really find out what had happened to him. So I never did find out what became of old Sam, which is really too bad because he was a great friend of mine. I wish I had looked him up and kept track of him, but I didn't, and now it's too late. Thanks a lot.